Hi folks, Heather here, and glad you could join me today. If you're new here, I'd like to thank you for stopping in, and I hope that you'll stick around by hitting that subscribe button. And if you are a returning viewer, I just want you to know that I really do appreciate your continued support. So today I thought we'd take a look at some journaling practices and talk about those a bit. I know that I'm currently setting up my system for 2021, and I thought that many of you might be thinking about that as well. So I just wanted to talk today about what I've been doing, maybe show you some things that haven't been really working for me, and then show you the direction that I'm taking my practices for 2021. So I have been working in this traveler's journal over the last year, and I purchased this primarily because I had a lot of really nice journals that I was not writing in, and I wanted something that felt a little luxurious but small enough that I could carry in my bag if I wanted to, and versatile enough that I could have many sections, particularly because YouTube is not the only thing that I do. I actually have a 9-to-5 and different things that I have to kind of log in order to put together my my report sheet at the end of every week. So yeah, I needed a section for work. I needed a section for my videos. I needed a study section. So lots of different things. And this is a system that's really been working well for me. And there's one area of it that did not quite pan out that I'd like to talk about and show you, and maybe talk about some reasons why it didn't. And then so I think we'll just go from there. So I have just some basic stuff in the beginning, like I have, places for notes, business cards. These are actually, I picked these up, I think, at an art museum, and I use these for petitions. So I keep those here. This was supposed to be my planner section, which is actually written underneath this sticker. I never actually used it. And this is really the section of the book that didn't quite work for my style. And so this is on like graph style paper, I guess, if you were going to bullet journal, which I do not do. So I wouldn't. Anyway, I thought that this was going to work for me initially, because I don't always have to write things down every day. And so I figured this would be really good to not actually have dates, and to have a place where I could write the date in, and then I could list out notes for the day. But I didn't use it, and I don't know why. I ended up they gave me one for work, and so I used that for work. And then primarily I've used my phone. But I'm in my journal, and I want to be in my journal every day. And so I'm going to show you why I want to kind of switch my planner from my electronic device and put it into, a paper copy, if you will. So I didn't use this. This didn't work. And this is the thing that I am going to change about, 2021. So other things that I keep in here, I think for 2021, let me just tell you that. For 2021, I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to use this portion of this notebook. I'm going to dedicate it to my reflection readings that I try to do on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And so what I figured I would do is I would write the cards on the left side of the page near the day. And then on the right side of the page, I would write reflections on those cards. So it's difficult to tell because it's quite light on the video, but these lines, they line up all the way across And so I could use that entire space just to kind of like generate some keywords or some thoughts about a particular card that I've pulled. I usually have 3 cards that I pull from different oracle decks on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And I'm wondering if that would be enough space to kind of leave to write about that a bit here. And then if I want to kind of journal further, I can, because the next section that I have in here, this is just where I keep Post-its. So the next section that I have is my journal. And I don't know, it's just filled with stickers that I've like picked up. I guess this is from, I don't know what this is from. I have no idea. It's got to be from a museum or something. But they're just stickers that I've kind of picked up from, like, I don't know, a writing conference that I went to. Yeah, some washi tape because I messed up. So I put some washi tape across the top. But yeah, so this is just, you know, this is my journal. So this is where I journal every, you know, sometimes about cards. So like if I wanted to expand on this section, I could in my journal, but I also journal about other things. So it wouldn't just have to be about tarot. So I think this is something that I'm going to start for 2021, which means that this journal won't change a whole lot. The other thing that I have tucked in here is this little like dollar store notebook. This is just has been tracking like ideas that I have for the Soulful Living series, walkthroughs that I want to do. I've been like, there's not like a whole lot on my walkthrough list because I tend to do those pretty quickly because those are just really, it's just easy content to put out. But I do want to kind of get more into other components, like, which is why I started this Soulful Living series. So I could talk about different aspects of living intentionally. And then I also, you know, today we're talking about journals. So yeah, I definitely need a place to kind of write my ideas down and so that I can track what's going on. But this isn't something that's going to really be working for me the coming year. It's really not enough space. I've already pulled out pages, so pages pull out pretty quickly and easily, like away from the spine. And so I'll show you what I've done with those in just a moment. And then this last section is really like stuff for study. So like this is, you know, Reiki symbols and things like that I like to keep on hand for my Reiki practice. And then I've got, I think this is about, this is from a writer's conference about poetry and the poetic line. So yeah, just different things like that. These are just different stickers that I've been given. I just stick them everywhere. Written down some goals. So yeah, kind of this is how I plan to use this book. And then I think, because I do need a planner, and the planner that they give me at work is not very attractive, and although I do use it, you know, it's free. But I was thinking I also needed more of a planner for my videos and what I'm doing on YouTube, which is, I think this needs to expand. And I think one of the reasons why I want to also write information in a planner about what I do every day is because I want to kind of be able to track, you know, my magical practices, my spiritual development practices, and I feel like those are all things that I can't do on my phone. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. Very good. I'm loving my Sips by Box. Today I'm drinking I don't know, it's got like every berry in it. It's got like strawberry, blueberry, raspberry. It also has hibiscus. Very, very delicious. But I found, they give you like 4 different teas in your Sips by box, and then you can try them. And then have already contacted one company, Charities, and ordered tea from them because I loved the tea in my Sips by box, and I drank it like in one day. It was just so good. And so usually you get enough to make a couple of cups, and because the tea is usually loose, or at least that's what I've asked for, I can usually steep them twice. So yeah, sidetracked, but yeah, today I'm drinking, strawberries and hibiscus, all the berries. So loving my tea. Best decision I made for myself, my self-care, and really trying to bring tea into my daily morning rituals. So, and my evening as well. I think I drink quite a bit of it. But it's all caffeine free, so I do try to make healthy decisions with it. So back on track. This is going to be my new system. And I think, I've always kind of I am a traveler. I've traveled quite frequently in my life, and I've always thought the traveler notebook is kind of sexy. I always wanted one. So, I was really glad when I switched over to this system, and I don't want to get rid of it. But I am definitely going to be using this primarily just for my journaling practices and my study. Like if I'm taking a class, or sometimes I study things because, it's something I read in a book that I found interesting. So I just journal about my day-to-day life in this. This is a Filofax, and this is an A5 notebook. It's this awesome color. Green is my favorite color, so this really works for me. And this is really where I'm going to be putting all of my planning information. So the first time I'd ever seen a Filofax was on Kelly Maddox's channel. And I really loved, how organized the system was, yet how much freedom it really kind of affords one when you use this particular system. And so this is what I intend to work on for the coming year. And I've already started kind of putting it together with, I've got some extra Post-its and stickers that I plan on using. I don't know. This is something extra that I got. I don't know if I'll be using that, but so this is just the way I have it set up so far. I'm not really sure what this first section is going to be. Again, we have this graph paper that I just not sure about, but it came with it, so there it is. I have a section so far on goals. Sometimes I have stickers from places I've been, and I'll use those in my journals. And then sometimes I buy this is just a cheap sticker pack that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. So, we have, it's like a crafter's corner, and you can get, this as well, so I don't spend a ton of money on the stickers, but I do like to pick them up when I can do so cheaply. These are all just different kind of inspirational phrases, I guess, and words. So I thought those would be cute there. And so this is where I plan to list out my goals for the year. And then I do have kind of a list. List is short right now, but usually what's on this list is not every book that I want. But usually this is a place where I reserve things that, you know, are, I guess, harder to come by. So the books that I have are, you know, books that are really expensive, or they're, you know, out of print. And so they're things that I kind of have to hunt down. And then decks. So I'm not really sure what else will go in there. But what I like about this system is that it's easy to change, right? So like I can always cover this up if I decide that list is not something that I need to go into using for 2022. And if it's a system that works for me, then I can keep it, and all I'm doing is replacing paper. And so a lot of what goes in here is really not meant to be kept. Like, I suppose if I wanted to, I could keep pages from this Filofax and use in my junk journals. But by and large, like, this isn't information that needs to be held on to. Whereas what goes in here is, you know, this is information that I'm likely to return to. It's my personal thoughts, philosophies, my creed is in here. Like, this is a book that has, you know, more permanent writing in it. So after list, I've got this section on ideas. And so this is where some of my pages went from this particular book. And this is going to be the bulk of this section, will be kind of planning my things that I want to do for YouTube. Also, probably planning things that I want to do for my business. Blessed Root is probably going to happen within these pages. And so, I just have like different styles of pages. You know, big pages, little pages. I like that I can make this look very layered and textured with different size pages. I just got a little hole punch for this A5 notebook, so I can really use any kinds of pages that I want, that I cut for the book. So I think that's going to be really cool. And then next, I just have this is just where I have my today ruler, plastic little ruler that came with it, because I'm like, well, I need a to-do section. So this is what I'll, you know, turn to each morning with a to-do list. And I'm thinking this I'll use primarily as a weekly list, or even to some degree, like, you know, just big things that I need to do, like call the doctor and make an appointment. But I don't necessarily have to do that at a specific time. It's just something that I need to get done and get checked off my list. So that's probably what I'm going to be using this to-do section for. And then I'll keep this here so that I can flip to it rather easily. Next is where my calendars are. And I've decided to go with 2 different calendars. This is something that I've always had a problem with, because I have to keep a calendar for work. And I just really don't like mixing that with the calendar that I'm using for my personal life. But I do think it's important for me, as I said earlier, to have a calendar for my personal life, because my phone doesn't allow me to, you know, I'm not keeping notes in my phone. So I don't find that to be something that works well for me. So this gives me kind of a place to expand on the reminders that are in my phone. I imagine, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'll show you how I'm going to set it up, and then we'll see. So I have this section. This actually did not come with the Filofax when I purchased it. I purchased this for about $9, this weekly monthly planner. And the reason I purchased it is because what I really wanted, not all these pages, was this. I wanted the month view. So with this, what I'd really like to be able to do is put all my moon phase and ritual information. So I'm going to go through here, which is odd because they don't have it. They have it on this section, other section, but they don't have it here. So I want to put like all the moon phases, rituals that I have planned for the month on my monthly view. And then then it has this section. And really this section looks like what you see here. You know, you've got these big rectangular blocks. It tells you the holiday, right? So it tells you that. But I'm kind of playing around with different ways that I might organize this area and what I might use it for. So I'm thinking it's possible that I might kind of cut it down the middle and then use one side here on the right for like bills and birthdays, kind of daily to do stuff like pick up milk, like that kind of thing. And then on the left side, I'm thinking that I will use that section for like appointments and videos that are going to be going public on that particular day. Any kind of appointments that I might have or meetings with friends or colleagues that are kind of personal in nature, I would want to keep there. And so I'm thinking that's how I'm going to use this particular section. And so it's got, a tab for each month. And, then you have the same monthly to weekly layout. And then, as the year progresses, this will get switched up, because I'll be able to kind of take out months and start saving room in the Filofax so that I can fill it with pretty things. And then finally, I have a work daily calendar because remember at the beginning I said I have to keep accounting of everything that I do for a weekly report. And so I'm going to be using the part that came with the Filofax, which is this calendar. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it actually works well for me for work. And I'll explain why. So let's see if I can lift this. So you have it by day and you have it by hour. Because it's Filofax, like you get it in several languages. But you also get, which is something that I really like. I don't know if you can see it here. You get like the moon phase at the top. So you can see I've already started putting in certain things. So let me just switch back to a different view. Okay, so yeah, this works well because it has the time 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can actually track daily activities for my job using this particular section. And like the rest, as I fill these out, I will get rid of them. And these yearly ones are, you can find them for like $8 on Amazon, which is where I got the weekly monthly planner. So, these are really cheap to replace. And I think that that's going to work better for me than doing a new notebook every year. So I like that. I don't know. I just think it is going to work better. I like that it's malleable, that I can take things out, put things in. I like that I can decorate it if I want to. I really enjoy the impermanence of it since this is not anything that needs to be kind of retained for anyone's records. Whereas this does, like what goes in here, it's, you know, poetry, it's philosophical thoughts, ideas, things that I'm kind of studying and pulling into my craft. Like this is all in stuff that I think is important, that may even get retained later at some point in a Grimrock, well, probably a Book of Shadows if I had to choose. So that's another video. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed this sit-down chat. I'd love to hear about what you're doing for your journaling and your, you know, planning, I guess, for 2021. Down in the comments below, so please share. Some other things that I have on the table here that I didn't really talk about are, you know, I don't really go all out. I do have like some washi tape. I just started doing a little bit with stamp work. You know, I don't have like a ton of different stamps or anything like that, but I have a few that I like, and these are, you know, might bring these in. I use these primarily for junk journaling and other things, but I may be bringing that into my planner. I do like stickers. Like I said, I don't spend a lot of money on stickers. I generally buy a lot of my stickers at the dollar store, and yeah, I mean, I like butterflies, but probably would have, you know, I get whatever I can find really at the dollar store. These I actually have left over from my wedding, so I pick things up along the way. I do like to sometimes use like letters, and because in some of my notebooks I have things that are, let me see if I can find one like this. These were kind of strange stickers. They had like, they had like foam adhesive, so that would raise it up away from the page, and that doesn't really work well for a journal. So I kind of took those off, and I used glue dots. So I just kind of make whatever I have. I don't spend a ton of money. And I don't advocate it, but for me, you know, advocate spending a ton of money on it. But for me, it is nice to kind of have something that I can work with, I can make my own. And yeah, so that's my plan for 2021. And I'd love to hear, as I said, about your journaling and your day-to-day planning and what that's going to look like for you. So please share. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and I hope that you have a blessed day.